Hello everyone, welcome to Zeta's Mama and Dada's YouTube channel. And for those who are watching, please don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share. Now for today's video, I am going to share to you the step-by-step process on how you are going to apply for your child's CRBA and US passport at Manila US Embassy. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So just a disclaimer guys, this information that I am going to share to you, these are all based on our experience. We are not experts about this process. So lahat lang ng to is base lang sa na-experience namin nung nag-apply kami ng CRBA and US passport for our daughter Zeta. The 12th of May, 2023, that's the time na nag-submit kami ng CRBA and US passport application. So, before that, of course, we gathered all the documents that we needed. And just a reminder, this step-by-step process and guide just only applies at Manila US Embassy because there is one in Cebu. And I think they have a different process there. I'm not really sure. So for those who are going to submit the application at US Embassy in Manila, you can go ahead and use this video as a reference. So nung ginather namin yung documents namin, of course, we followed this specific checklist that's in the website of Manila US Embassy. So first, we have a cover letter. This one that I'm holding right now, but I'm not going to show it to you anymore because it has our information. So on the cover letter, it includes my fiance's name, and then my name, the mother, my address here in the Philippines, and then the Philippine cell phone number, and then email addresses of my fiancé and my email address. And then it also includes the table of contents. So number one is the cover letter, which is this one. And then number two is the form DS 2029. So ano yung form DS 2029? That's the main form that you need to fill out when applying for the CRBA of your child. Now, if the US citizen parent won't be able to attend the interview, you need to fill out another form. And that is called the DS 5507. So sa DS 5507, say for example, yung partner mo na US citizen is in the United States and he was not able to attend the interview. So they need to fill it out and sign it in front of a consul or in front of someone at the notary public. So, hindi kayo pwedeng mag-sign doon immediately. You need to sign it in front of the consul or the notary. And then, same thing with DS 2029. Now, if the US citizen parent would be able to attend the interview, you don't need to submit the DS 5507. This is only required if the US citizen parent won't be able to make it to the interview. So for DS 2029 and all other forms, on the part that says, please stop here, this part of the document must be signed before a consular officer. So you have to accomplish that part and you need to sign it in front of the consular officer. So that's very important. Kasi kung isasubmit nyo yung form na may pirma na and then hindi nyo siya sinign sa harap ng authorized person to, to conduct the signing of the form, they won't accept it. So the form will be invalid. So that's very important. So for DS 2029, again, kung makaka-attend naman ng interview si US citizen parent, you don't need to submit DDS 5507. So I'm going to insert here the samples of the form. So we have here the DS 2029. So for DS 2029, there's this box or a tick box that you have to check if ever that the US citizen parent is not present during the interview. And then for the DS 5507, this is the sample form. So you could all get this form at Manila US Embassy website. And then the other form that you need to submit is DS11. So that is for the passport application. Yun yung need nyo i-fill out. And again, there's another part there that you need to sign in front of the consul. And then we have another one, which is the DS 3053. So it is called the consent form. So for the consent form, this is only needed again if the US citizen parent cannot make it to the interview. So basically, there are two additional forms that you need to submit if the US citizen parent cannot attend the interview. But if he or she can, then all you have to submit is the DS 2029 and the DS 11. Now for these forms, let's start with the DS 2029. So kung magsasabit ka ng DS 5507, yung part na you need to give out information about the US citizen parent, you don't need to fill that out because that will be filled out at DS 5507. Now, all of these forms, since the US citizen parent is not present during the interview, all of this need to be signed in front of the, again, consul. But I think if they are your if the US citizen parent will do it in the United States, a notary public is acceptable. In our case kasi, yung fiancé ko, andito siya sa Philippines nung time na yun. Ngayon kasi nga, nanganak ako dun sa baby namin. So we really thought that we will be given the interview schedule. Andito pa siya. But unfortunately, it took 2 months before we got the interview and he needs to go back to the United States. So before he went back to the United States, we went to Manila US Embassy and that's where he signed all of these forms that we needed. They gave it back to us and then I brought it on the day of the interview. And then for all of these forms, you have to make sure that you are checking the expiration date. So you will see it at the upper right corner of the form. And then for the consent form, kung sakaling ang hindi makaka-attend sa US citizen parent, we have to take note that it has an expiration date. So The consent form is only valid for 90 days. And then number 3 is the photocopy of PSA issued birth certificate. Now, just a reminder as well, all of these documents that you are going to mail to Manila US Embassy, all of these are photocopies. So, hindi nyo kailangan isubmit yung original. Dadalhin nyo yung original at the time of the interview. So, photocopy of PSA issued birth certificate ng baby, and then two 2x2 photos of the parent and the applicants. Of course, that one should be original. And then father's proof of US citizenship. So it can be yung photocopy of passport niya or birth certificate. But on our case, we submitted both. Photocopy of his passport and photocopy of the birth certificate. Then they also need the evidence of physical presence in the United States. So those photocopies, it can be the photocopy of tax return transcript and then passport stamp. So that's what we've submitted. And then they also need the evidence of parents' location at the time of conception. So on our case, we submitted the flight tickets and of course the passport stamps. We also submitted the photos when we were together, when I conceived with, during the time that he stayed here, the time when I conceived with our daughter. And then evidence of the mother's pregnancy. So that includes the pregnancy photos, ultrasound report, 3D ultrasound photos. So those are the documents that we submitted. Now for the ultrasound report, 3D ultrasound photos, we also tried to submit the baby book that were given to you by your OB. However, they did not accept it kasi walang pangalan. Kumbaga, hindi ko lalagyan ng name. So, these documents that you are going to submit as the evidence of the mother's pregnancy, you need to make sure na merong name mo so that they would accept it. And then, evidence of the parents' relationship before the pregnancy. So that includes photos together, WhatsApp chats, video call screenshots, and call logs. Nung ginawa ko tong evidence of the parents' relationship before the pregnancy, naging madali na lang kasi ginamit ko yung document na ginawa ko nung nag-submit kami ng K1 fiancé visa application. So since I have those saved in my computer, I just reprinted it. And then I just added additional photos and WhatsApp chats, video call screenshots, and call logs to make it updated. And then they also need the sequential photos of the applicant. So from the time na pinanganak yung baby nyo up to the present. And then photocopy of passport bio page of the mother, the non-US citizen parent. So, ayun. Again, these documents that you are going to mail at Manila US Embassy, lahat photocopies lang, except yung 2x2 photos. So, after namin mag-gather all the documents needed, we went to LBC and we sent it via LBC as the courier because it is also a requirement for you to send it using a courier. They cannot accept it if it's a snail mail. So you need to also have the tracking number. Actually, ang US Embassy naka-tie up sila sa Air 21, so they prefer you using Air 21 as your courier. It's just that on our case, walang Air 21 na malapit dito. It's actually fine if you're going to use another courier. The most important thing is you need to have a tracking number. And then on the date of the interview, like what I have mentioned a while ago, you have to bring all the original documents. So say for example, you cannot bring the original passport of the US citizen parent because that's one of the requirements. It is needed for you to bring the original passport of the US citizen parent. You can bring the notarized photocopy, colored photocopy of each pages of his passport and then submit it to the embassy. So again, it should be notarized kasi yun yung um, one of their requirements. But if the US citizen parent can send you the US passport, the original one, then that's better. But if he cannot, then that's the other option. Ngayon, regarding the sending of the documents to the Philippines from the United States, we used FedEx. So my fiance used FedEx. And then I received it within like 4 days or 3 days. Yun nga lang, medyo pricey siya. But with FedEx, you can receive it as fast as three to 4 days. But they say it within 5 days, marireceive mo siya. And then, what else? So yun. You just need to track your to check if your documents has been received by the US Embassy using the tracking number that was provided to you. And then you will receive an email about the appointment schedule. Nung time na yun talagang matagal before kami nakakuha ng schedule. So it took us 2 months before we got that schedule. And then on the day of the interview, aside from bringing all the original copies of the documents, you need to bring your baby with you. It is a requirement regardless of the age. Kasama niyo dapat si baby nyo. And another thing, there's a fee for CRBA application and then US passport application. Babayaran nyo siya during the day of the interview. And that time, I think we paid 14,000. So that's the CRBA and US passport. So depende siya sa exchange rate. By that time, I think that's 58. So it depends. So, ayun, yung mga kailangan nyo gawin kung mag-a-apply kayo ng CRBA and US passport ng baby nyo. Now, if you want me to make a video, like an in-depth, step-by-step guide on how to fill out all of the forms that you need to submit, please comment down below. And if you also want me to share my experience during the interview, please comment down below so I could make a video for you. So, ayun lang guys for today. Thank you so much for watching and see you again very soon. Bye-bye!